We have a reunion in this film. Dakota Fanning is in this film. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it a reunion? Because this is not the first time that Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington are in a movie together. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Antoine, and today I'm going to review the latest action thriller film that's also a third installment in the trilogy, The Equalizer 3. This movie is once again directed by Antoine Fuqua, who directed the first two films and stars the return of Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning. Robert McCall finds himself at home in southern Italy, but he discovers his friends are under the control of local crime bosses. As events turn deadly, McCall knows what he has to do: become his friend's protector by taking on the mafia. Now, I really enjoyed the first Equalizer movie. I don't think it's anything special or anything, but it's a very fun action film, and Denzel Washington is the main thing to watch that movie. I think he is great in the film, he is so badass in the first film, and I think it's a very fun action film. The second Equalizer movie, I find it a bit disappointing. There are some good elements in it, but with the story and terms, it's pretty messy. So, Equalizer 3, I was giving it a bit of hope, because the first film was great, and I love Antoine Fuqua. I think he's a very terrific director. I think he's very underrated as a filmmaker. And also, I love to see Denzel Washington on the big screen again. Now, I'm going to say this. This is definitely better than The Equalizer 2. But unfortunately, I just find this movie, in my opinion, just fine. It's not bad, it's not terrible, but I wouldn't say it's great either. It had good elements to this film, but also has its pretty mixed elements as well. Denzel Washington, he has still got it. He's still Robert McCall. He is still badass in this film. But I really love the characterization they gave Robert McCall in this movie. He's definitely in low pale in this movie. He's not getting any younger without spoiling it. And that aspect of the film, just him exploring this town and basically trying to get back up to shape, I think it's one of my favorite aspects of The Equalizer 3. They're trying to make this movie more of a character study film, and I think the characterization they gave Robert McCall in this movie was actually really well done. And when he throws down, he is still badass, and Denzel Washington really props it up with his performance, and he really pulls it off in this film. And also, we have a reunion in this film. Dakota Fanning is in this film. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it a reunion? Because this is not the first time that Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington are in a movie together. They're in a movie that came out decades before, a movie called Man on Fire, that is directed by Tony Scott. I think it's a very underrated thriller film. You guys should check that out. That also stars Denzel Washington and a young Dakota Fanning. So years later, seeing them reunited is really cool, and I think Dakota Fanning does a great job also in this film as this FBI agent. Her interrogation scenes with Denzel Washington are really well done in the film, and they do have a good chemistry with one another. I would say the action scenes are really good in this film. It's full on, it's badass, it's very bloody. I would say the opening scene of this movie is probably my favorite out of the action scenes. It's filmed very well, and it's executed very well. And for that opening scene, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna see a good movie here. Unfortunately, guys, if you have seen the trailers for this movie and you see the action in the trailer, that is basically all the action scenes in this movie. So yes, if you're expecting to see a non-stop action film, you're not gonna get that, because the action in this movie is literally in 20% of this movie. The rest of this film, like I said, it's a character study of Robert McCall getting used to the town. Now, there are elements to the film with that story that I did like. I do like this town that Robert McCall stumbles upon. It's his hometown, and it gives him much more of a dark characterization in the film. But most of this film is pretty slow, and the pacing of this movie is a little bit off at times. Like, this movie is an hour and 50 minutes, and it really feels like it is 2 hours long. I feel like the pacing of this movie is one of the things I was very disappointed with this film. It definitely slows itself down a little bit. I wish it could have a bit of balance with a bit of characterization and some action scenes. Not to say I'm going to this movie just for the action, I just wish this film has a bit of balance, because this movie, of course, it's different than the first two Equalizer films. And I do appreciate Antoine Fuqua for trying to do something different with this film. And I appreciate that. And for the most part, I was enjoying for what I'm seeing. But just the pacing of the film kind of ruins it. The film does go a bit boring at times. Most of the times when you see Robert McCall in this town, getting to know these people, it's sweet moments. You know, it shows that Robert McCall is not just this badass, he's also very sociable. But just the film, I wish it could have upped its pace just a little bit. And like I said, there's not really as much action scenes in this movie. There's literally only, I would say, like 2 action scenes in this movie. and I wish it could have had a bit more, just in my personal opinion. Just to up the pacing, you know what I mean? Like, I like the characterization, character study elements with Ron McCauley, this town, getting to know these people. You know, it's fine, you know, there's nothing harmful about it. I wish it just could have upped the stakes a little bit more and upped the pacing a bit more. Also, the mafia in this film, the villains in the film, they're forgettable. You know, they're just villains for Denzel Washington to just basically kill and kick ass in the film. There's nothing too memorable about these villains. They're like basically the generic mafia villains that you've seen in a lot of action movies before. Overall, The Equalizer 3, in my opinion, I was just a little bit disappointed at the film. It is just a fine film overall. Denzel Washington definitely helps the film. He is great in the role. Dakota Fanning's still great. The action scenes are pretty good in the film. But with this character study element in the film, which I did enjoy for some parts of the movie, I wish the pacing could have upped its stakes a bit. And this movie also has pretty forgettable villains. And for a final chapter, it didn't really up the stakes for that. It didn't really feel like a final chapter to me. It just felt like another Equalizer adventure movie, just in my personal opinion. I'm going to give The Equalizer 3 a C+. But that's just my opinion on The Equalizer 3. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Get in contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.